you have a lot of people come in from far. There's quite a few hotels around,
Okay.
so you have customers coming by, or if they come by, it's because they've heard that there's a discount going on. And when there's no discount, you don't have them coming back.
Yeah.
So I initially joined Groupon. You know Groupon.
Yeah, I've heard of Brooklyn.
So yeah, I initially joined Groupon and it was all exciting. Lots of people came in, and the favorite question they'll ask when they're leaving is, "When next are you having the offer going on?" And that's not what you want to hear.
No, it's not really. You want it just to
You
have
enjoy.
feel.
Oh, the food was very nice. What time do you close? What time do you open? Those are the kind of questions I was looking for. Not when next do you have this offer happening.
Yeah, because once they come in and have that, the cheaper deal on the offer, why would they come back for the, regular offer?
But that was the whole idea of getting on there.
Yeah.
You go on there so more people can get to try out your food, and you hope that when they try it out, they come back.
Yeah.
But if half of them are trying it out and they keep refreshing Groupon, hoping you're back on again,
Yeah, that's not what you're looking for.
no.
Would
Because
you
you
say
can't
that?
keep giving your food at 50% off every time. No.
Yeah. Would you say that backfired then in a way, or would you still say it would be successful?
It did because I've not gone back on. Yeah.
Right, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so what about expansion? Like, say you wanted to take your business elsewhere, would it feel like? Do you think you'd be able to find like the right area to do that, or do you think it's just
Definitely,
like
if I was to do it again, I'll definitely go for a work in like a BBC area,
Yeah.
the big media city.
Yeah.
Definitely, because then everyone's up for lunch. Everybody's got about £5, £7 to spend on lunch.
Yeah.
And there's so many choices. Your food cannot be for everyone, but they'll have enough money to throw around to
Actually
want to
go
try
and
it out.
try it out, yeah.
So definitely, I'll go for a working class area rather than an area. Because initially, I was focused on the fact that the area had lots of children. So I had a little Lego wall, a Lego area,
That's good.
and I thought once the families come in, they'd buy stuff. But
It didn't play out.
no,
Oh dear.
just
Oh
coming
dear.
in for a bag of chips and walking out is not gonna keep my business alive. So.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
So yeah, working
Yeah.
people that work. That would
Yeah.
be my focus.
What about like the higher costs of working in the cities? Like I was talking with a gentleman who was running like a takeaway burger shop. Gentleman with a hat. I'm just trying to find where he is. Over there, the guy with the glasses on his shirt. He's got this idea for a business of his own. But he was talking about business rates and being in the cities and very active areas being very high. Do you think that would be like a big barrier to be set up a business in like a big city centre, or would you try to find like scope out a good place to find it?
There's now dark kitchens. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah,
Dark
literally,
kitchens.
that's what he was running,
Yeah,
where it's
so,
like all these different restaurants in one location. It's just like they only do deliveries.
So I would hope that, based on what I've done my research, a lot of them have flat rates, which is you pay them £2,000 a month, and it absorbs internet, everything, all inclusive, electricity, water, gas, all inclusive in £2,000. And I think that's a steal. But with mine, if I'm paying £2,000, I still have to pay for water, exclusive. There's so many things that you have to worry about.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
it's like you have one flat payment and everything's sorted. You don't have to worry
Literally.
about anything.
And I constantly have to worry about, my gas has gone up, my water bill's gone up, my electricity's gone up, fire alarm. To fit in a fire alarm is about £4,000.
Really?
Yes. Just the fire alarm, and then you have to service it every 3 months.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's what I have to deal with. But if you have a dark kitchen, I'd imagine the building is all covered and so many things to worry about. So you might get it cheap outside of the city, but everything's changing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I've only just recently learned about these dark ghost kitchens or dark kitchens. I don't know what the correct term is. Like, there's different ones.
It's just like renting, you let the landlord worry about it.
Yeah, and it's a big weight off your mind, and it's just one simple payment. Don't need to worry about all these extra things going on. Yeah, that's really good.
But yeah, like till now I still can't believe it. £4,000 to fit a fire alarm. Like I said, my space is only for 20 people. I can't imagine the pubs with like 200 seaters and like Toby's Carveries and stuff. I wonder how much they pay for fire alarm. Probably 20 grand, 30 grand.
Yeah, something like that.
For fire alarm?
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. There must be some kind of like. I mean, I've always thought about like how big franchises are always kind of like keeping, treading down on the little big, little restaurants and things. Like, I really don't like McDonald's and the business practices and all these bigger companies. Like, just irks me how they always like make it so impossible to compete with all the big ones. Like on Uber Eats and things, the first ones you always see are always the big ones like McDonald's, KFC, Burger King. They're always there, and you have to really scroll further down to find like the really nice, like the smaller joints where you get actual decent food that doesn't taste like cardboard.
But literally, that was my fight. Do you need help?
Sorry, anyway.
Sure.
Absolutely lovely stuff being
Great,
here.
great.
Hope you enjoyed it, man.
Thank you. I'm Yeti.
Hi, Yettis. I'm Catherine.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I'm not. I think I'm not that familiar with Yetti's Kitchen actually.
Okay.
Whereabouts are you based?
We're based in Eccles. Do you know what Eccles is? Salford.
Yeah,
Close to
I do.
Salford, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you go about setting it up? Like, what's the background to it?
We initially contacted the landlord for space. It was an office space. And we contacted him and sorted out the lease for the place. And then he rented it out to us. So we had to literally change out the whole office building to a restaurant. That's what we did.
So, are you sort of like head chef, or did you meet someone who had that kind of vision? And what was your ambition at the start of it? Was it like you love food, you wanted to?
Yes, loved food. I initially started out selling food from home.
Okay.
In my kitchen, and then I got on Just Eat. And then once I saw that it was successful and people actually wanted my food, I then got the confidence to actually rent out a restaurant. Yeah.
Okay, so do you write the menu?
Write the menu, set the whole place up, cook the food.
You cook the food as well?
Yeah.
So you are head chef?
Yeah, head chef and founder, yeah.
Okay, so do you have like a sous, presumably you have sous chefs, or like you have got other chefs in there?
I do it at the moment. It's still a small business. But yes, I've got staff, but I still do the cooking. Because when you think about the price and the salaries and what head chefs want, it's very expensive as a small business. They want an average 15 to 20 pounds an hour. And we are not making that kind of money at the moment. No. So, yeah, there's a lot of bills involved in actually having a physical restaurant now. And because it was self-funded as well, I didn't exactly get a loan, or it wasn't an angel investor, just what I mean. So I didn't have that much money to
What are the options then in terms of setting up a business? It's getting a loan, it's getting a loan. What are the options? What are the basics of setting it up?
Mine was self-funded because I was working, so saved up, and then whatever I saved up is what I actually used in setting it up. So
what sort of costs are involved with setting up?
For mine, it's a 20-seater, so it's just more of a cafe. You know what I mean? It's not like a huge pub. So it's a 20-seater. We're talking about 30 to 40K. Right, and that's as good as a mortgage, if you know what I mean.
Oh, what do you have to pay for the capacity?
No, I'm just saying in setting up equipment, all that stuff, registration, alcohol licensing.
Well, these are the things I don't know. I don't know the basics of what
Yeah,
are the
so
basic
literally
costs.
getting chairs, getting tables, paying for the gas cooker, paying for a microwave, paying for a freezer.
And the license.
And like I said, it was an office building. It's just like me saying I'm setting up a restaurant here. It's literally bare. It's literally. So I had to set up a bar, and I had to hire laborers to actually build the bar. So all of that costs about 30 to 40K. Yeah.
Okay, so
But that's different if you're actually hiring a ready-made restaurant. That's totally different. If you know what I mean. Probably gonna be cheaper, but I couldn't find one that I could afford. Yeah. What were you thinking of doing?
I'm not thinking of setting up well, I am thinking of setting up a restaurant, but not in the way that you've described it.
Yeah.
It would be as part of like gardens and with artist spaces of workshop, more like a place to go and then just like other things going
So
on
are you
there.
going to have one location, or it's going to be more mobile?
One location, but there'll be like the cafe restaurant, but then there'll also be galleries or like artist workshop spaces.
Makes sense,
And then
makes sense.
also like the gardens, and then
So in terms of what you're trying to do, I'll probably say staffing, and obviously the location will be your highest cost. Do you see what I mean?
The what, sorry?
Staff, paying for staff, and the location would be the highest cost, because
When you say the location,
where you're going to set up. So when you say it's going to be an art gallery, you need the space to do that, right?
Well, it'd be sort of little sheds, almost little workshops for them to be in, the artists.
You need to rent out the space, right? Or you've got somewhere to use?
No, I guess I'd buy the place maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So equipment, members of staff, insurance, electricity, gas, stuff like that. Business rates, obviously.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's really helpful.
Sure.
Interesting tea story, and I'll definitely go and try it because I've got family living nearby at Earlham, so not too far from my calls.
Yeah. That's fine. But what I've done is I've written a book. It's called How to Start a Restaurant Business.
Okay.
If you scan any of the QR code, it literally gives you step by step what to do to set up a restaurant. But obviously, if you're not setting up a restaurant, but you can just save it just in case you need any of the tips.
Yeah.
So if you scan it, it would show you the details of what the book
Okay.
does.
Right.
But yeah, thank you.
Very much, Yettis. Nice
Sure.
to meet you.
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys to it.
No worries. Hiya.
Jamie,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad.
Do you want to come closer?
No.
Yeah. So the next shout.
Okay.
That's for my business card. That's for the book.
Everybody listen, please. Right. So,
Should
if
pop
you want
up.
to move
Yeah.
around, you have about 20 minutes. You don't have to move around, but it's quite helpful if you do, really, so everybody gets a bit of a turn. So, if you can move down, please.
Hi.
How you doing? Yeah, I'm new to all this.
Great.
In the sense of going around these tables.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought maybe if you could speak to established. I've just launched a dark kitchen here.
Okay.
So
I think he was speaking about you. Actually. Somebody.
on the go with the beer.
Yeah. He told me about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I've just recently, literally moved in last week.
Okay.
And I guess, do you work with like any of the delivery companies?
Yes. Deliveroo and Just Eat.
Right, which ones have you found probably the best?
I know the kind
ones
of
to
questions
work
you're gonna ask me already. Okay, I'm listening. What's your question?
with? Okay, so I guess for us, because we've been traditionally a street food vendor, what we've been doing, and we've kind of come in and out of Manchester doing stuff, because I'm not based in Manchester myself.
Okay.
Like I'm based out near Wigan. So during the whole COVID thing, I've been operating with the street food over in Wigan at a local pub in their garden, which has worked really well and stuff like that. I've done stuff in Manchester, but just events, and then I've done like Stretford Food Hall and stuff with my brand. Obviously, we're taking the opportunity to try the dark kitchen. It's kind of a little bit of a less overhead, less risk from our perspective.
Yes, that's exactly what I said to him. Yeah.
To see if it will work.
Yeah.
And try and build, the brand's presence here in Manchester. We're more permanent in Manchester,
Yeah.
and then we'll see where it goes
Yeah.
from there. But obviously, to start off with, it's kind of building the brand. Well, I say the brand's there. It's more about building the customer base, getting people to see what it is we're doing, what we're offering.
You mean taste rather than see?
Well,
Because if it's a dark kitchen.
well, this is the thing. I mean, I do work with Food Disco.
Okay.
Those guys, yeah. So I've done a couple of events with them as well over the last couple of months. And now I'm scheduled to do like at least 1 or 2 a month with them, which is good because I'm going out to apartment blocks and people are then trying it as well. But it was more about building that presence, but getting people sort of knowing more about us on the delivery platforms, because obviously that is key for us. I've looked at Slurp. I don't know if you've heard them yet, so I'm hoping to get on board with them next week. So I've signed up with your Uber Eats, your Deliveroo's, Just Eat, Slurp, and then there's another one, the one based in Manchester. I forget the name off the top of my head, but they started in Oxford, and they're all about ethical operations of delivery. They only work with indies, so they will not work with your big chains whatsoever. And their idea is that they basically have all their drivers. Well, they don't even have drivers; they're all riders basically, and you pay a fee a month to them. they don't take any commission on sales, so that's another one. From your experience building it up, trying to get people to, or how do I get the ratings up and all that kind of thing would be useful for me.
I smile because there's a good way about it and there's a bad way around it.
Yep.
I'm trying to be careful. Okay, so how'd you get your ratings up? With promotions. With Deliveroo, they have something where you could offer promotions, and what we do is on every order that goes out, we have a sticker that goes on every meal to say, leave us a review and, I don't know, get 10% off next time.
Yep.
So that puts people in a place where they actually help you out with reviews. That's number one. If you want Fiverr, Fiverr is also an option where you could pay people to help you with your ranking.
Right.
And that will be your SEO. I don't know if you know much about SEO and stuff.
Yeah, I know a bit about it.
So Fiverr could help out with that as well. That's one of the options. But with Deliveroo and Just Eat, if you're not a big chain, it really works against you. Because that's part of the things I was talking to them about this week, which is I actually did research this week. I normally deliver the food myself in terms of my own members of staff, and recently I just joined them to have their own delivery drivers do it because I just wanted to take off the headache, because with COVID more people are calling in sick, so you're having to pay people that don't actually turn up to work. So I wanted to just get the headache off my head. So I signed up with them, and I noticed that everybody that comes to my restaurant page on Just Eat, it says deliveries are a bit slow at the moment, so we don't have enough drivers. So if you place an order with this restaurant, deliveries might take longer than usual. That's what it says on my page. But then I go to McDonald's, I go to Subway, and I go to the Greg's and the likes of it, and it doesn't say those deliveries are going to be slow, but it's the same postcode, and they're literally 2 shops away from me. So if there's an order that came for me, it's still the same M30. I would imagine it's on a first come first serve basis, but apparently not. So when a customer sees that message, as soon as you come to the Yettis Kitchen's page to say deliveries might take longer than usual, and they go to McDonald's, no message to say deliveries might take longer than usual, of course you're going to go with McDonald's. So when I complained about that, they said I should speak to the driver team. What does the driver team have to do with a message on my restaurant? That's more IT and what you display on restaurants rather than the length of time it takes to send out a driver. So for me, it's more about, yes, once you send out every package to your customer, actually having a note or a sticker, because I just went to print lots of stickers that I actually put on there. So usually Deliveroo and Just to give you their own stickers to stick on, but I don't do that because that's not helpful for my business.
No.
So actually having stickers on there to say your review would help keep my business afloat, and I put a little cartoon, people love cartoons, put that on there, and that way it helps your customers feel like they're a part of the review process. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, one thing I have thought of, because obviously we've got our own site, and ideally I'd like customers in an ideal world to drive down and collect it, but it will benefit them because I'm going to give a percentage off, and I want them to do it through my website. So my idea was to put cards together, and then every order that we deliver or Uber Eats or whatever, because we'll have to use them mainly for now, unless it's friends and family who are going to order it out. Was like 25% off your next order, use this discount code, bang that into the website, our website, come collect yourself, you're going to get that discount. Because at the moment, like, I've just started to put a discount. I've just been in the kitchen today, and like I was looking at what my sales last week, and bear in mind, to be honest with you, last week's a bit more of a soft launch, like I wasn't pushing too much. And I was like, right, I think what we need to do is lower the prices, add more items, but items that we already have in stock, but do them in a different way. Let's not go and buy any more new stuff. Use what we have, but just put them in a different format and give customers more options with the stock that we already have. So I've just changed all that today. So I'm hoping that will give a bit more bite.
If you think about what the Chinese do, it's basically rice and different sauces. So sweet and sour sauce, but it's still the same basic rice. If you want egg fried rice, it's still rice. Special fried rice is still rice. So totally,
So that's what I've been putting together today. So that's obviously for tomorrow. We're going to do Wednesdays to Sundays. and I'm just going to see sort of how that. Now Sundays, like, have you found that that's a good day to trade on Sunday with
I
people
found
being
that
hungover?
Sundays and Mondays, because everybody else is shut on Sunday and Monday. So people who've never tried my cuisine find me on Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
So usually Sundays and Mondays are our activity days I want to take off, but that's my discovery day where people who can't be bothered to drive down from the center of Manchester all the way to where I am in Eccles are like, you know what, they're the only ones that's open when I check on Google, so I'll drive down.
Yeah.
But then Wednesdays to Saturdays, I'm competing with everyone because everyone's open.
And what about sort of times you're open till? Like, have you tried like later?
I'm open from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Later, because I've got a family, it really doesn't work.
Right.
But later, then there's violence, because I've got about 4 pubs around my restaurant. So shouting, fighting. So it depends on what kind of customers. So by 9 o'clock, everyone's still sane, and after 9 o'clock, the kind of customers you get coming through the door, is it really worth it? You know, except you're a nightclub and you're willing to have bounces by the door, but that's not really the vibe.
No, I'm also looking. I asked that question because I'm just wondering if we kind of open later and try and capture that market, like say between the 9 and 2 a.m. just on a weekend.
Possible. It might be worth trying because a lot of people eat late, but totally depends on where you're delivering to, because with Just Eat they only do 2 miles. I don't know if that's the same for you.
Yeah, it is at the moment.
Yeah, and I covered more than 2 miles, so I've just noticed that since joining them to use their drivers, my orders have kind of dipped. But when I was using my own delivery drivers, it was a lot higher. So
that would probably be an option for us to do our own drivers at some point. Again, get the traffic through our website rather than going through.
And then you get people are a lot happier because the delivery times are quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And you have more control over that as well, and make sure that that's going there, that's going that way, and that kind of.
And then if there's a problem, customer wants a refund or whatever, send your driver out again to give them the fresh food and stuff.
Yeah.
But with Just Eat, you have to go through the platform again, and people can't be bothered. That's what I mean. So it works out good, but there's a lot of flack you get for joining. Yeah.
And the other thing is like using these smaller platforms as well. Like like I mentioned, Slurp, they're quite new really to the market.
Yeah, I would say you should be careful with that because I joined Food Hub.
Right.
I don't know if you know them. Food Hub.
Is this the Manchester?
I don't think they're Manchester. I don't even know. I don't know where they are.
Right.
Just Food Hub. That's it. So I joined them and I thought they were very. I looked on Google.
Yeah.
They're not new. They've been around for almost 10 years. And I was wondering why the service was so bad in terms of for a whole month I didn't get a single order.
Right.
And I was paying the monthly charge, like you mentioned.
Well, so that must, maybe that is, no, it's not profit, it must be somewhere else.
It just sounds familiar.
The person I spoke to, they basically just started like 2 years ago within the whole COVID time. So they started in Oxford. So, but this Slurp one, they're from London.
I've not used them.
So, but they only charge 1% commission. In the first 4 months, I think it
I
goes
I don't mind the commission bit, but I do mind the monthly bit.
The payments.
Because everything's coming thick and fast, from food waste to. But because you're in a dark kitchen, everything's one bill. But for me, I'm paying different bills, and everything's increasing.
So you got customers coming in there as well.
So there's so many bits I have to worry about, and I'm actually considering going to a dark kitchen because I don't have to worry about bits and pieces. You know? It's just like renting. You let the landlord worry about the problems with the property rather than being a mortgage owner and you have to worry about the house. But so it was just I had to pay up £60 a month.
Yeah, just to be on the platform.
Just to be on the platform, and then they also charge commission, but I never had one single order. Not any orders.
Then, is it?
So they said, 3 months probation or whatever, and if I'm not happy I can leave. But after a month I was paying them £60 for something that I never made.
Don't make any business sense, does it? Whatsoever.
So I said to them that usually when you join a platform, normally there's a marketing email that goes round to let people in the local area know that a new business has joined your platform. Can you not any email campaigns or text messages?
You didn't do anything.
They said no, sorry, because of GDPR, they're not allowed to do that. I'm like, but Just Eat sends out campaigns.
That's strange.
So no, literally they were not helpful. Join them and that's it.
Well, there was, like I said, I spoke to them. They said there was this charge. It was 150 a month, up to £1,000 worth of orders. You don't pay any commissions. However, I said, well, just give me an example. Like last weekend, how many orders were run through your platform?
Normally,
They were like
you ask
60.
them that, they give you good figures and then you join
But they
them.
said 60 though, and I said that's pretty low.
How many
really.
restaurants is that?
I don't know how many they got on. They wouldn't tell me that.
60.
But they only had 60 orders on the weekend. But bear in mind, it's a startup company.
No. That's a red flag. No.
Well, that's what I thought. But then again,
600, yeah, 60.
but they're working very closely with for this month with Manchester Finest.
Okay.
So they're basically doing 50% off on all orders, but they cover the cost of the 50% and pay back to you. So
Well, yeah, 60 is like for one restaurant.
that's what
Think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
60 is for one restaurant.
A good restaurant.
Yeah. So I want to know how many they've got on.
Well, I know that they've got slap and pickle. That's one of them because they said to me that they had to turn the machine off on the weekend because they were too busy thinking of that.
Yeah. So that's what I do. When I'm busy in the restaurant, I switch it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, because you're new to it, if they turn it off, we don't have this other burger option. Because we're not just burgers, by the way. We literally our forte is steak and fries. We're exotic beef. I did a kangaroo and ostrich on it. But they were like, oh, well, you probably capture their trade. And I was like, well, they're probably, the thing is, they're a bit more established than we are. So I'm not too sure if that would necessarily just be the case. Like, we need to build our presence here now in Manchester. Yes, we've had great customers.
Have you heard about what's called Mank Eats?
Yeah, Mankeys.
Yeah, get him.
I've emailed quite a few of them actually saying, look, we're new
Come try
out
our
to
food and
market.
stuff, yeah.
You know, we'll send some free food out to you. Can you do a little bit of a write or whatever you can do?
Yeah.
Any publicity is good publicity at this moment in time.
So literally, that would be good in terms of they do videos of them eating your food and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I need. And anyone really that's got some kind of influence, just so people then are aware that this brand now, Heaven Steak, is in the city and obviously delivering steak to you know. So yeah, no, but that's useful because obviously you've got the experience in all this. It's a delivery thing.
So literally as much as you can, because what we also do as well is I don't know what kind of phone lines you have.
Or just normal 0161.
Okay, so for every phone call that comes through to Yettis Kitchen, it comes through on a smartphone. So I get to know the customer's numbers.
Yeah, I've got that. You know where you buy a number and then it gets directed to your mobile. Yeah.
So with that, I get to have my customer's number, so I can actually send out campaigns to them
And a
directly.
personalised message.
Yes,
and all that.
exactly. To say that we've got 20% off.
Yeah.
And that increases my sales versus waiting for Just Eat to do it for me.
Yeah.
No. So at the moment, I've got about 300 numbers. So even if a Just Eat customer calls to say, oh, I'm just trying to find out where my driver is or whatever. Oh, what's your name? Get the name, I save the number. Because literally.
But have you found those people, your regular customers, are they coming and ordering it independently, picking it up, rather than...
People don't want to leave their houses.
That's crazy, isn't it? Like how lazy some people
Literally.
are.
It is the
I've
hardest
never,
thing.
I've never personally used Deliveroo or Uber Eats myself.
I'm too much of an introvert to actually leave my house. Literally, my husband's the other side, where he's like, oh, let's go down to... Just 2 days ago, he told me to go to Manchester City Centre to eat. I'm sure you heard of Poku.
Which
Poku? So it's a Chinese...
name rings a bell.
Yeah. So it's very popular and stuff. And I was like, why just order it? And they deliver it. Why would I want to leave my house just for food? You know? So, but I've noticed that more people prefer deliveries.
Yeah.
Because then they have to get dressed up and be bothered.
That's true. I get it, in the city centre. I think, where I'm based out in the suburbs more, I'm more inclined to just go, right, I'll ring up, I'll go and get it. I know it will be piping up as well, and I can take it home, and I know it will be, whereas you never really know a delivery driver.
It's been around to like 4 stops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At least you're going, picking it up from source, and taking it straight back to where you're going.
And that's exactly what I said with Nando's, because the other day I went in Nando's and I said I would rather go do a collection and actually pick it up because then it's hot. But if I order it by delivery, items are missing and all that stuff. It just goes wrong. I don't know. great food, but they've not got the delivery guy.
Yeah. And that to me is that has to be key for us with what we're doing. Until I build up enough custom for them to go, you know what? Yeah, I'll come down and pick it up, or I can then pay for my
The
own
thing is,
driver.
if you advertise on Facebook, because that's what I use for hiring.
Yep.
If you advertise on Facebook, you get stuff as well, and it's free to advertise on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that way you come off way for Just Eat. You get your ratings up.
Yeah.
Google My Business, are you on there?
Yeah, I'm on Google. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Get your reviews up there, and
Yeah.
that way you rank higher than Just Eat in terms of when people are searching for your business.
Yeah.
It's not Just Eat every time.
Yeah. Well, I'm still getting, to be honest with you, get on board with Just Eat. I mean, the amount of paperwork and other stuff I've had to go through on them.
Right.
But luckily, I've got the other two for now.
Time to move around, everyone.
Nice to
Let's
meet
do
you.
it.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, all the best.
Just point out, you've only got 2 more that you can do because you finished at 7:15. So you've got 2 more opportunities. So
Right,
choose
I'll be quick then.
wisely.
So I have a company called the Green Pod, and we are trying to bring environment-friendly and organic products, which are compostable, not only biodegradable but compostable.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you guys use disposable plates at any of your.
We do.
Yeah. So I'll show you something. Probably. I brought some samples in.
Great stuff.
We'll talk about them later. So these are the plates we do. Now, the problem with traditional biodegradable plates is that they still have additives and chemicals in it. So though they say, like, if you know about bagasse plates or paper plates, they are made of pulp, and pulp will need some additives, then
Yeah.
you go through molds. So your carbon footprint is increasing every time you're using a chemical processing and everything. Plus they're not compostable, they're biodegradable, so they have to go into special recycling unit for them to be in high heat to be recycled or composted. These ones are made of dried leaves, no chemicals, no additives, no additional processing. So 3-step process, so your carbon footprint comes down straight away. What these can do, the traditional ones can't do, these can hold water. So your greasy food can stay for a long period of time. It won't get soggy. You won't end up eating a plate. So I remember once, you know Indian food, right? It's so greasy. So if you leave your food for like 10 minutes, you go with a spoon and you're going to make a hole and everything's going to fall down.
That's it.
So these won't. I've actually tested with water. I was just telling you, I don't want to waste my sample, but if you put water and you leave it here, after 2 hours, it's still going to hold shape.
Interesting.
And these are microwave safe, oven safe, fridge freezer safe. So if your food is getting cold, just take the plate, put it in the oven or the microwave, heat it up, and eat it again.
Great stuff.
And this is something which I was showing to Sarah on the baking front. We are trying to bring something in which you can bake. So these are oven safe as well. We have tested it, and now we're bringing a new product that you can just put your batter in, put it in the oven, no need to clean up, and no guilt feeling, because if you don't have anything to compose, you put it in your back garden in the soil, it will compose, because it's nothing, literally nothing else but just a dry leaf. So
Impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, and what it brings is, like, it is solving 2 problems. These come with from a tree called a Rega palm nut, and that nut is really popular. So it's grown in India, it's exported across the world, and it's really, really popular. So the popularity and the money meant that everybody was growing it. The problem is that tree leaf is this big, and when they shed that leaf, imagine if you have thousands of these trees, everyone shedding at least 2 leaves, you have 2,000 leaves, you don't know what to do with it. So they started to burn it, which is causing more pollution. And somebody had this brilliant idea that I can mold this into a shape and use it. And from this, that idea came. So it's not harming the tree, because that nut is more precious than the leaves, right? It's basically solving the problem of those dried leaves which were not being used or disposed of properly, so to say. And then you can use it as a disposal plate. You can use your normal cutlery. It's sturdy, then normal plate. You can put any amount of food and it'll hold. You can hold it with your own hand.
Interesting.
So that's what I'm idea. Just thinking, like, if you were interested, or if you think this is
It would
something.
be great to know what your prices are. I don't know, is there a website I can go to?
Yeah, we're just starting off. So we started selling on Amazon to test the market. It sold really well, but then Amazon is like, they just end up taking everything. So we started off with so this as a wholesale that costs around 35, 36p.
And how many pieces does it usually come in?
So they come in a 25-piece pack, but we can do any number for a wholesale rate.
It would be good. It would just be good to look at the different options.
Yeah.
In terms like a website or something.
The website will be up next week. So we started with Amazon when we realized that we should have our own website. I'm already looking at the first sketch, and the designer is working on it. We just want to make a few more changes, get that payment gateway synced in as well. So it will be up next week. I've got the details. I'll forward you the information.
Please, you got my business card, yeah.
Yeah, I've downloaded them.
So please.
And if you want to keep some samples and try your food on it,
it's fine. I like it for myself.
Yeah.
Away from business, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you think, because we were thinking more like people who have these, pop-up shops and not proper restaurants might not need them because they will have a proper cutlery and everything.
But I don't mind serving it because it's an African restaurant. So this suits the look and feel of my restaurant.
Yeah, and it's not like, the normal, when we have a party at home, right, and we saw this difference, if you're using disposable plates, especially the bagasse one or the paper ones, if you're putting crisp, it's fine. If you're putting anything which has grease on it, like Indian food and it's more like similar, right? So if you have any gravy or thing or liquid in it, it cannot hold for more than 10 minutes. So it's like you put it, eat it quickly before the plate goes off, and you're eating the fiber at the end. So if you get the problem when we started to see was, like, especially with Indian food, like if the plate is getting soggy, I know that I ended up eating some of the fiber in it, and that pulp actually has additive and chemical, and for the whole carbon footprint to come down, you would actually need to have something which has a lower or a shorter manufacturing process. So it's not zero here, but it's less than the traditional plates because it doesn't go through a huge chemical process. We don't have to use I'm from paper industry, so I'm done engineering and printing industry. I know the amount of chemicals we use. So to make paper, it seems like it's biodegradable. Yes, it is. It's made of wood pulp, but that is not pulp alone. It has a lot of chemicals before it can actually be turned into paper. So yeah.
No worries. I look forward to you contacting me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you.
Send me an email, and I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm
Yeti.
Darcy. Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How's it going?
Good. What's this?
Sorry?
How can I help? Okay.
What Yettis Kitchen?
Yes Kitchen, we're a restaurant based in Eccles, if you know where that is. Eccles, Salford. Yeah, we're an African restaurant. So we sell food for eating, we have a restaurant for eating, and we have food for takeaway as well.
Okay.
So deliveries and stuff.
Okay. How long have you been going for?
For about 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
Yeah, October makes it 3 years.
How was lockdown for you? Was that?
It was good. It helped me think long term. You know, many times you get caught up with the day-to-day running of a restaurant, and then suddenly you have a chance to think about what do I actually want to do, and how do I make this last, So it helped us restructure the business, and now we're good.
That sounds good. Cool. Yeah, I'm a food business as well. We started during lockdown.
Okay.
So we've had the constant issues of everything being cancelled, the markets were cancelled, no extra trade.
What do you do?
Everything chocolates.
My favourite. Everyone loves chocolate. Okay.
We were selling we've got a shipped container, that's our production unit that we pull on jars. It's been really hot over the summer, we've had to stop trading. Yes, there's been a lot of adapting over the past 12 months.
Why shipping containers?
So do you know where Polaria is?
No.
So it's a local converted shipping container. It's in startups, so they're cheap rent.
So kind of similar to Hatch then?
Yeah. But more of like production spaces and offices. So they've got electricity, fire and water in, really cheap, it's been really good for getting going. That commitment of leaves, overheads. So we're kind of at that point now, we know the business works. But the space really doesn't work for us. It's that kind of evolving now of like where we're going with it.
Yeah.
We can't carry on working as we are.
So you just need a production space, or what are you thinking of doing with the
We're
business?
looking just taking on like a kitchen, so we're looking at that at the moment. We're in touch with it's got like a coffee shop side, quite unique, quite colourful. We do a lot of vegan products.
Okay.
rather than just having a kitchen space that's kind of, that's all it is, we
Yeah,
ship
yeah.
online from it, or do we have a cafe where we can kind of cover the overheads maybe? We've got a huge, we sell a lot Christmas, Easter, Valentine's, Mother's Day, but then you have that bit in the summer where people are only really buying it as a birthday present. We have times when we can't ship, so having a production space that's £1,500 a month is potentially going to be a lot of dead money in the summer, and we can't commit to a lease to that. We don't know what. Also, it's like starting trading during lockdown. Everyone's buying online because there's nothing else to do, and it's like, do we get overly confident because we did well in that first year when everyone was supporting small businesses, and will we do the same next year? Can we commit to a long lease on something?
That's a lot of questions. Yeah. And the thing is, you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah, that's the point where we're at. Yeah, it's nice talking to somebody else who's got food.
Yeah, we're currently looking at pop-ups. We could possibly have pop-ups in our kitchen because we had the restaurant space, and like I said, we went through a lot of restructuring during COVID. So we had the restaurant space, and we're just doing deliveries.
Okay.
So we just need the kitchen part.
Okay.
We need a kitchen to do deliveries, and we've got the restaurant, and we're not really open to having walk-ins anymore because it's just the overhead. There's no point having it.
Is it more profitable for you just to be a takeaway now?
Not really takeaway, just have the kitchen. You just need it, just a commercial kitchen literally. So almost like a swap over. Really. I don't mind your production unit, and you can have the whole restaurant, and that way you can have the cafe.
And how many times is check the kitchen? People is checking your.
The kitchen takes about 20 people.
Your kitchen.
The restaurant takes 20 people.
Huh?
Restaurant takes 20 people.
How many times is inspection is coming?
Inspection?
On the month, once a month?
No, inspection.
Or once a year?
It's once a year, I think. Depends on how many stars you have, right?
Yeah, I think it depends what rating they class your food at.
Yeah, so
Is in advance inform you coming or your kitchen or
They can come whenever they want, can't
just
they?
suddenly?
anytime. They come anytime. Yeah. So yeah, we're just looking for anyone who wants to take over the restaurant, really. So it might be worth having a conversation about that. Yeah, and that depends if the location works for you.
For us, really, our sales mainly ship across the UK, like we ship everywhere. It's just kind of having something that's not going to melt all of our products in the summer because it's 3 degrees hotter than outside all the time.
Yeah.
We've got the worst spot as well. We go into great, we're on a corner, the sun comes up on our glass window, someone heats the sides and living next to it all day. You just know. It's just constantly hot. Whereas if we had a kitchen space, we could get prep for the market, so we can go out to the market for the weekend. And for us, the coffee shop side, it's more just to cover the rent and not really, if you've got a production.
But you're on a lease, aren't you? So you can't get out of it, can
It's
you?
1 month rolling.
Huh?
The 1 month rolling.
Okay.
The production, yeah.
But yeah, it might be worth having a conversation. Let me know. That's my business card.
Oh, thank you.
I made it easy for everyone. Just scan it.
This is great, I like it.
So yeah, that's a business card. Should pop up. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
And just let me know. Like I said, it's a 20-seater. 20, you can sit 20 people. We've got a coffee machine there. We've got the space.
Sounds cool.
When you check online, you can see the pictures of what it looks like. Let's know if we can work together.
Thank you. It was lovely to meet you.
Same here. Hiya. Hi. Do you want to come closer so I'm not stretching my ears? Good. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. What's your name again?
Yeti.
Yeti. So is this, can you tell me a bit about how you started? And
It's an African restaurant. We started about 3 years ago.
was it before the lockdown?
No. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Lockdown was last year. Was it last year or this
I don't
year?
know, it's kind of like
I literally
about
can't even
22
remember
years
anymore. But yeah, it's been 3 years now. Yeah.
And then from the beginning, like when you first conceived the idea, how did you move about taking the steps to make an actual business with the legal things in place that it could be run?
I initially found an office space. It was an office space, so we had to obviously sign the lease for the place. Once we signed the lease for the place, I needed to buy equipment and all that stuff to get in. I then needed to get licensing from the Food Standards Agency, so from
Mind if
local
I make
council.
those? I'm not
Yeah, sure.
So you found an office space first.
Yeah. that allowed for change of use. I guess that's the word.
Yeah.
Change of use from an office space to food business. Yeah.
And to do that, do you need to actually apply for like a special license?
Yeah, planning permission.
Planning permission.
Right.
Is that with the council?
Yeah.
Take you back from to the very beginning.
Literally. You're having to take me 3 years ago. That's a long time. A lot has happened in 3 years.
Yeah. No, it's just amazing when you see like the journey, like how it's developed. So it's just nice to go back in history.
Yeah. So if you follow us on Instagram, I do talk about the journey a lot, and YouTube and Spotify. We have a podcast where I talk about everything really. And obviously, the YouTube community, they get to ask me questions, and I make videos about whatever they want to ask.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I'm here now, so
Yeah.
talk to you.
Yeah, literally, obviously, because it's rushed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a place where I'm rushing my answers and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so planning permission. After planning permission, I then needed to get my license from the local council to say I wanted to start a food business from them. After that, I got my level 3 food hygiene certificate. So food hygiene certificate and all of the stuff.
You can get that, I think, online, isn't it?
Yeah, online. So all of the stuff I'm saying, I have a YouTube video for 2 hours that talks about every single step, and I've also got the book as well.
Oh, is that your book?
So how to start a food business. That one. How to start a food business.
That's the front, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you scan that, it takes you to the book itself. So it's available and it's on sale at the moment. But literally it tells you step by step everything I'm telling you now without it being rushed. It tells you step by step. So yeah, level 2 food standards, food hygiene certificate. That's what I did. After getting that, I then did get an alcohol license because I wanted to sell alcohol. Yeah.
And do you have to pay for all these things? Because I'm probably the question at the end will be how much does it cost to initially start?
So everything, because it was an empty space. No, don't worry. Because it was an empty space, and I was starting from scratch. Literally, I just had a floor and a ceiling. That's it.
Yeah.
It cost around about 30 to 40 grand.
Right.
Yeah. But it was self-funded as well, which made it a bit more difficult because many people get a loan or they get friends and family to help out. But I was literally on my own, so yeah.
That's good. That's very good of you. So the space was like 30 to 40 grand, and then when you got the equipment and everything, you have to spend more.
So that's 40 grand covers everything.
Everything. So
All the different bits and pieces, chairs, table, machines, licenses, stock, everything.
Oh, right, okay, so 40 grand covers everything.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as I thought. I thought you were going to say like 100k or something.
No, it's a small space. It's a small space. It takes about 20 people, so not a huge space.
And then, so when you had all this in place and you spent the 40k, and then how did you go about like marketing it, like to get it?
Facebook, social media, flyers. That's it.
Okay.
Because I would have gone with traditional methods like billboards and stuff, but conversion rates I wasn't convinced.
Yeah.
Versus online where I could monitor the conversion, you know, and then I could tell what's working and what's not working. But if I was doing it via billboards and stuff, I don't know how many people called me from the billboard. So yeah.
And what about the like? Do you need to hire like an accountant, and then like with the obviously you probably will need that, and then
yes, I have an accountant and I pay them yearly. Yeah.
And what could be considered a good price?
At the moment I pay 1,000 and I think that's a good price because I contact him a lot.
Yeah.
Out of office hours and stuff.
Yeah,
so
1,000 a year.
So yeah, that's he should charge me more, but he's nice.
You're lucky then.
Yeah. Because literally sometimes you get an accountant and you can only contact them when it's time for tax.
Yeah.
But no, I'm
it's
like,
nice when you can go like ask them.
Yeah, when I wanted to employ staff, I'm calling him to say how do I go about it? How do I sort out payslip for my staff?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to sort that out. It's my accountant, not my accountant for my staff. You see what I mean? But yeah.
So just to clarify, you said that so it took like 40k in the beginning, and then how? So that covers everything, including the licensing, the permission, and the courses, everything. And then like, did you need to set up like a company as well, like to say operating the company? So that costs
£15, but yeah, that's part of the 40k.
Okay. So set up a company.
To register a company costs about £15. Yeah.
Okay, so that's set up. And then how long did it take for you to recuperate the money?
Still recouping.
So it's not come back yet, not yet?
Not yet, because obviously we had COVID, so that took about a whole year, a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we've been open for 3 years. Let's take it out
so
of...
let's just minus that. Imagine that didn't happen, right?
Imagine that didn't happen, then yes, we've not recouped. because COVID was as good as non-existent. Really, everywhere was shut down. Remember, we couldn't have any restaurants, couldn't have anything open. So
No, I remember. It's just I'm trying to work out. Like, say if that didn't happen, like how long would it take you to recuperate money?
I don't know. I've not been able to predict because it's been one challenge after the other. In a world where everything has worked out, I'll probably say 3 to 5 years, but everything has not worked out the way I planned. So.
Okay, so it's like a long-term game, isn't it? Like after 5 years, like you start making profit.
Expansion. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you very much for your
Sure.
time. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah,
Take care.
How are you?
Good. Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you give me just an idea about the business?
Yes, it's an African restaurant.
That's what's the
Yeah.
And where are you based? Manchester?
We're based in Echo. Echo.
No?
Do you know where Eccles is?
Yeah, I'm from Bolton.
Okay.
And I used to work in Manchester, Salford, and I worked in Eccles as well, by the way. Oh, fantastic. And from your experience, what do you think? Obviously, you're not mobile, you're stationary, you have a place. Now, what do you think of a mobile food business from your experience? Because my idea is,
This is your 20-minute warning. This is your last chance to move around and talk to anyone you haven't talked to.
I have just started.
20 minutes left till the end of the event.
Okay, so what do you think of? I had a mobile van and I did some food service. Do you think the food business at the moment is still booming? There's a potential for that. Should I go for a fixed location rather than mobile?
I would suggest you start out with mobile, and if it's successful, then and then if it's successful, you go for something permanent. Yeah. Rather than you go for something permanent and it's too expensive and you spend all your money, then you don't have any money to go for mobile.
What kind of food, by the way? Do you have a business? Because
Yes, my business
I'm
card.
as a customer.
Just scan that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So what kind of African food? Is it like a specific country?
Nigerian food. Hiya.
I think that table was so full, so is this Yetti's kitchen?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is this your business?
Yes, it is.
And what can you tell me a bit about it? Like,
African Food is an African restaurant based in Eccles.
Oh wow!
Do you know where Eccles is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're based in Eccles, and we've been about for 3 years now. October makes it 3 years, and we're doing what we do.
How did you start off? Like, was it a home business? Or?
Started off at home selling food on Just Eat and Uber Eats and Deliveroo and stuff. And once it was successful at home, I was then confident enough to actually open in a physical restaurant. Yeah.
Oh my god!
But I had to test the waters first.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get from the home business to the restaurant? Like,
I'll probably say about a year because I was working my 9 to 5. And I needed to save up for an actual restaurant.
Yeah.
So once I had enough money to save up, then I took the leap. Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. No, but you're not very young, like a student. I'm presuming you must be a
Yes,
student,
I am super young. Yes.
Wow, so that's good already on track.
Yeah.
That's really good.
He's just saving my details. That's my business card and
Oh yeah, thank you.
how to set up a restaurant business.
Wow. Oh yeah, I can take it.
the book.
I don't have the thing. Oh, it's
Yeah,
like
you can just scan it.
Yes,
How to start a food business.
Right, I'll write this down then. Sorry.
If you just scan it with your phone, it takes you to the book.
Yeah, that's great.
And that way you can save it and don't lose, and that way you don't lose it.
Yeah.
I thought to myself I could print business cards, but I know people they might lose it, you know.
Wow.
But then you can just save my business card, which is what he's doing, and you have it straight on your phone.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just.
I don't know why it doesn't.
It should just come up. I thought I saw something come up. No?
No, that's very weird. It's on the camera.
That's how to start the food business. Also, you're running like a
That's a
course.
book. That's a book. You can download the book. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It didn't
come up.
That's weird.
I know. It's almost
Look, if you switch on your camera,
Yes,
Yeah.
if you switch on your camera,
Oh, it should have that little thing in it. That's weird.
I guess it's dark.
It's probably dark. Yeah, let me see.
I managed to.
No,
Did you manage?
He managed
Yeah,
to.
yeah, I managed to.
Wow, your phone is better than mine.
That's crazy.
Is this on Amazon?
I'll switch on the camera. I'll switch on the lights
Yeah,
for you.
sorry.
There.
Thank you.
Hopefully that should work.
Yeah,
now.
I've got it now.
There you go. So that's my business card.
Yeah, thank you.
So you can save my number. And if you need me, call me.
So who do you hire? Do you hire your family to do it, or is it
No. Hire staff, friends, family. Don't mix with business.
Yeah, true.
If you want to keep them as friends and family,
Yeah.
you don't get them involved in business.
So basically, you didn't have external finances. You just saved.
No, because I hate owing. You know, having a business is enough headache.
Yeah. For
Rather than worrying about, oh my god, the bailiffs are coming after me as well because I've not made enough money.
True.
You know.
But I think, with starting on the Just Eat platforms, they take a lot of I looked at the percentages. So what is the healthy?
So initially I started off with my own drivers.
Wow.
So that helped with keeping some money in my pocket rather than they take about 35%. And that doesn't include VAT. So by the time they put VAT, you're talking about 40%. That's a lot. So going with your own drivers, 13%. That's cheap.
But I think with some drivers, they take, is it £1 per delivery?
You decide. You could decide to have them on minimum wage.
Oh, wow.
So I normally hire my drivers using Facebook. I advertise on Facebook.
Yes.
And then people apply and...
Wow. Yeah, true. You can get students as well. I'm sorry, but
And that's a lot cheaper than 40% per order.
Wow. That's great. So you're all on the platforms like Uber, Deliveroo, but I think with food business you have to depend on them, isn't it? You can't sort of get.
Not really. If you got your own customer base, great advertising. If you've got advertising and stuff, you're in a place where you're not relying on them.
Yes.
Also, what I've also done is I've done a video on YouTube that breaks down how to save yourself money if you're starting off a business. So if you go on YouTube to follow us, Yettis Kitchen, you'll be able to find all the little tips that I've said. Because it's literally 2 hours long, so that way you're not in a rush.
Which platforms did you advertise on? Was it just Facebook or Instagram?
Social media, everywhere.
Everything.
So Google Ads, you got Google Ads, Gumtree.
Oh, Gumtree, wow. I thought they're for furniture, only
Facebook Marketplace is amazing. You'll be surprised what you can sell on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. So you can sell on all these different platforms. Instagram, TikTok.
You can sell food on the Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, people sell very crazy things.
I'm going to look into that.
Because you sell anything, Some people sell their leftovers, which is, I made too much food. Anybody want this for a $5?
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Did they buy it as well?
No, not me. I'm surprised I saw it.
I know. It's like the
I was
home-cooked meals.
surprised. Home cooked meal.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you make too much.
Do you do the digital marketing yourself?
Yes, digital marketing, graphic design, everything.
Because that's like sort of different skills altogether. So
yes, you learn because it's very expensive to design what you've got there. Most people charge you £70 to design that.
They do, yeah. So use the application like Canva.
And I just do it myself because it's cheaper. I haven't got, especially like I said, self-funded. You haven't got money to throw around.
Like Facebook campaigns and all that stuff. Do you do that yourself?
I do it myself,
It's a bit technical.
So whilst you're cooking during the day, at night I'm in front of my computer all the time. It's a lot of work.
But did you know the ads on Facebook, they cost a lot of money? So how did you?
No, it doesn't actually. But it's not successful when you don't throw money at it.
Yeah,
if you spend £10 for your Facebook ad, you're gonna get a lot of likes, 200 likes, 300 likes, but no conversion.
Yes.
Right? No. But then when you spend £300 to £500,
they do.
Then you have people actually. So they get robots. They get robots to click to make you think that you're getting your ads in front of everyone. So it's not human beings clicking Because when somebody clicks like on my advert, I actually look at the profile, and the profile is just nobody. I look at the profile. So when I actually pay like 300, 500 pounds for an ad,
Yes.
I look at the profile that I like in my picture, real human beings.
Yeah.
So
It's all about
500
money.
pounds, 300 pounds, they'll put your ad in front of human beings. 50 pounds and less,
Nothing.
plenty likes,
Yes.
no conversion.
Yes. Yes.
No. Instagram as well. Facebook,
Yeah, because
Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram the
Same thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Do you know where it's good to get a banner for, like, because I'm starting a sushi business from home, so I want to make like, you know, the Japanese bubble tea with the sushi. So this will be in the Prestwich area. So because my mum already has like a commercial unit that she doesn't want, so I'm going to set that one there
That's
for
good.
free.
That's
You know,
good.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for free. But I want to know what is the banners. Where can I get the shop signs that are cheap? I don't know. It's like it's really expensive.
When you say banner, roll up banner or what?
Like a shop sign or signages, they're very expensive, isn't it? Like, you know.
I initially started out with eBay.
Oh really?
Yes,
Wow.
you get stick-on ones.
Yeah, the
you can stick them on.
Yes.
So I got it from eBay, and when I then had enough money,
To buy
I then got
signs.
the little 3D ones and the LED ones that flash and are visible. But if you haven't got money, eBay, you could. I bought 150 pounds, and I got all my letters, stuck them up, and they worked.
Wow.
If you have a bit of money, then LED lights,
Yeah.
and you can have
They
it
cost like
customized.
£3,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 3,000. I don't know.
Do you own your own business or nice to meet you?
No, I'm thinking of starting a coffee bar. You know,
Oh, really?
Yeah, drinks. Yeah, something nice. Which actually is not that bad, I was thinking. Because I wanted to add some another item with it, like food-wise. So what you're saying is amazing in terms of drinks and
Yeah,
Japanese. I like that.
Japanese drinks and
The bubble tea is really popular now,
bubble
isn't
tea
it?
is
Yeah.
so popular, but
Yeah.
we know there is a sort of recipe no one knows because we're trying to add a pudding into the tea and you know different types of carrots.
There, what's the address? What's the address?
I will add you. But it's obviously we want to be in front of these people in Chinatown, but it's going to take a bit of time. You know, it's the branding and everything. So you know.
Would you mind supplying businesses of your products?
Yes, I'd like to because we want to sort of like supply to people and drinks.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Do you want bubble tea and everything?
Yes, I want to because I like bubble tea myself. I buy it from the shop. Fantastic.
So coffee and bubble tea, that's amazing.
Yes, all drinks as well. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always you think of because Alex actually is saying that you have to supplement the coffee with other drinks. You might get people that they like this bubble tea. They're not a coffee, but then you get them as a customer.
Yes. And also, because my partner, the business partner, he has a takeaway already. Because I'm trying to learn off him. But he does doing Chinese food, everything, and you know, he's very big now. But for me, I'm just starting up. I'm just like a baby, you know, asking him. But we want to sort of like, you know, like process to different people, like different small businesses, get more money. Like maybe for yours, it's good to give it to like, you know, like maybe train stations or you know, people will buy that food. Like, because I like the Jamaican jerk. You know, Buzz Rock. Buzz Rock is one of my favourite.
Wow.
I love Buzz Rock, but it's very expensive. You know, it's like you need to know how to cook that Jamaican jerk chicken, but you know, I can't do it, so I can't. You know, it's I think it's down to ethnicity as well. Like, you have to be from that culture.
Depends. It's all those videos on YouTube now. Depends on what you want to do with your time.
Because they might think, why are you doing Jamaican when you're Chinese? I love the food. So what about you? Are you doing the just trailer business?
Yeah, just the van. I'm thinking of setting up the business at the moment. I'm just getting ideas and approaching business growth and other organizations. And it's to help me, that's why I'm here. Just to get ideas, how you can put it in reality, practicality.
Could you give me your contact details and your name, and if you have, what's the word called, Instagram? Do you have LinkedIn?
Actually, I'm a digital marketer myself. But,
Good.
Which I had to learn it to build a business.
Wonderful. That's what I'm saying. That's a cheap way to go about it. Just do it.
So what do you work as? Sorry, what do you?
What happened is, I'm a teacher, but I switched to digital marketing. I'm a science teacher. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
But then I wanted to have my own business.
Yeah.
So I thought of building online business.
Yes, yes.
But in any business, you marketing. Digital
Yeah.
marketing was
True, true.
So I had to go and actually learn all this campaigns and program.
Which is good, yeah. I think it is. Don't quit your full-time job until your business really runs.
Has proven itself,
Don't
yeah.
quit the full-time job until that business
Yeah.
is good
Yeah.
because you might lose a lot. You know, it's not worth it. So.
Especially with COVID, everyone's everyone's now looking for a full-time
Yeah,
job.
definitely. You know, so it's
You need to pay your bills.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah. That's right.
So do you do Jamaican jerk chicken or rice and what is it? The
Curry
dishes?
goat, jerk chicken.
We'll
the
have
whole
to go
lot.
to yours now because we used to go to Bus Rocks.
Yeah, how far is that?
I think it's in June, so from our place it's like 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we live in Salford, so it might be close to your place. You know, do you know Jade Garden, the takeaway?
Yeah, I've heard Jade Garden.
Jade Garden. My mum used to work there. They were a nightmare, but they're not busy anymore because of the COVID.
Yeah.
It's affected their business. They're not very busy.
And I need to think about it. Half of the members of staff are calling in sick. Everyone's got COVID.
Yeah, have you
So
heard
you
that
can't-
news? I think my mum works there. She got COVID. The whole shop closed down, and there's no business anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
Yeah, so-
you can't keep afloat with just.
Yeah.
That's why I've had to. There was a lady that I spoke to that said I had to change my business around.
Yeah.
5 minutes,
Thank you. Nice to
everybody.
meet you. I'll add you definitely.
Yeah,
you
definitely I'm
listening?
interested in that product.
No problem. No
5
problem.
minutes.
We'll contact you.
Please.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. So I just said, you know what, I
Can
had
I
to.
get my email as well?
Yes, of course, please, yes.
So I said, you know what, I needed to change my business around. So we're more delivery focused rather
Yes.
than eating, because eating is too much overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. We'll have
Same
to go
here.
try it.
Same
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have to go now?
Oh, we said 5 minutes more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Small confessions to me, I'm not really into the food industry.
Okay.
How many drinks
Okay.
are you after if we make the bubble tea? Because when it's freshly made, for example, it has to be sold within. I think it's like 1 day. It has to be sold 1 to 2 days.
I mean, the order has to be probably the night before.
Yes, the
Social
night
media,
before,
because I'm
so we
very
can
shy
make it.
person.
Yes. So we can make it.
I'm not one to pick up the phone and just randomly call people.
Okay, no problem.
So I prefer the
We-
indirect one where if they ignore me,
No problem.
it's not right to my
Yes.
face, right? But imagine walking up to somebody and you're trying to talk to them like not interested.
Because when I buy in bottle, it's like you come in that size.
Yeah, so most of it is social media for
Because
me.
the options is we can make the drinks for you.
Facebook,
and we
Instagram.
can send it to your shop.
But
and
Instagram
then,
more
like deliver to you
than
if
Facebook.
you want to. Just
So
for the
initially,
day,
I
and then,
pop up in the comment
because
section.
If you make it yourself, it's
In the
not
comment
the
section,
same.
make
It's not the
conversation.
same.
If they respond, then I might get a bit confident going to the DM.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I think the best time is 1 day before you
Yeah.
give us the order. We help you make
What
it.
size of the drink?
It's
We
okay,
can
it's
do
okay.
medium,
But
big
I
or
focus
small.
more on trying to
I can
get my
show you
direct
plastic
business
cups. Yeah, plastic cups. Yeah.
rather than waiting
And
for them.
sealed.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I can show you, no problem.
And you do the bubbles and everything that different types
If you're
of
using their
bubbles
drivers,
that-
35.
Yes, we can also sell the
The one
bubbles
that
separately.
jelly or
But with my
Yeah.
drivers, there's about 13-16%.
nice.
So
So
hard.
that is actually your business or you need?
It's KO Burger. And,
So you're thinking of going into business, or what are you
Yes,
thinking?
So the other running business.
Yes, and also I can give you my partner as well. It's Park View Takeaway. So
My work before this pandemic was total break.
Uh-huh.
Because of obviously the pandemic.
this takeaway is in sale.
Sale.
So we're in sale now at the moment, but so it's quite busy. So I think they're trying to do sushi and everything. So if you like sushi,
Again, that's another.
another
So you have a
type.
passion for that
Yeah,
then?
I'm fan of fish.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get in touch.
No problem, no problem.
And you can deliver it as well.
We can deliver with it. If it's local, where are you based? Where you, Bolton. Oh, okay.
Far from there. I know you're saying
Very
it's
harder than I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, that's fine. That's really
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your name? Sir?
Melody.
Oh, Melody, the name.
Yeah. Your
Yeah,
name
because-
is Ali. Yeah. I'll keep you
About 3
contact.
years now.
Thank you.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. So yeah, for me it was mostly social media because what I've noticed is the responses that I've had are from people that I made real conversations with. Because if you're doing, I'm going to call it cold calling to find clients, you might get into the habit of copy paste. And what I realized is with the copy and pasting, I hardly got conversion. But when I actually sat on your profile, spent the 5 minutes, I didn't want to do it because it was tiring, right? Sat there, oh, you got a dog. Okay, he's got a dog. What's the name of the dog? I've got to do research to find the name of the dog. When I get all that data and I actually make a valid comment to say, oh, I love that park, I usually walk my dog, I start talking about myself and whatever, that puts them in a place where this person is actually interested in me. And then from then, I can say, you know what, by the way, I do. But that's when they've responded to my general comment. Rather than you just going, sorry about the random approach. I'm a digital marketer. They're not going to respond. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, you're right. Nothing beats genuine, authentic.
But it just takes time. It takes longer. And then I don't know if you tried Fiverr. Fiverr?
Oh yeah.
Fiverr, LinkedIn.
Fiverr, LinkedIn, Five Squids. Bunch of them out there now. Elax.
Yeah.
So where can I find you in Manchester?
We're based in Eccles. Do you know where Eccles is?
Oh yeah.
So we're based in Eccles, restaurant there. Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, during the pandemic, obviously, like solely on delivery.
Yeah. But the thing is, even before the pandemic, we were very focused on deliveries anyways. Because my business was self-funded, so it's not like I got a loan or something. So I haven't got huge members of staff. So I had to focus on deliveries, which is I cooked the food and I had delivery drivers to help me take the food out. That's what we were doing before COVID happened. So when COVID happened, we just carried on as normal, which is cooking up the food, deliver the food, you know. Not really. People didn't have money to spend, right? Everybody was laid off.
True, but furlough.
Yeah, but if you had furlough and you're in the middle of COVID and the first thing that comes to your mind is loads of takeaway in the middle of COVID.
I don't know. I mean, Amazon was making billions of
Yeah. Because people wanted to buy clothes and, you know, but we're talking about food, you know. Everybody went to the shops to buy loads of food because they thought it would run out. So they had loads of food at home. So why are they ordering takeaway? You know, that's different from clothes, you know. Yeah, so, but we survived.
Wow. Yeah, brilliant, excellent, great to hear. Yeah. So is it like Caribbean food that you specialize in?
Yeah.
Vegan or meat?
Both.
Yeah. Both. How's the vegan market? I mean,
It's alright.
Very popular right now, but I would say, I could be wrong, 5% about only 1% of the population vegan.
Literally. So there's a lot of buzz around it, but then the moment you decide to focus on that, you realize there's not enough sales coming through for that. So you have to offer both, and that way, if it comes good, if it doesn't come, tough. Yeah.
It's time to wrap it up, folks.
Nice to meet you.